You think that you have life figured out until real life proves that you don't. You know, the paycheck, it stops, and the calendar, it opens up. And suddenly the perfect plan, it meets the unexpected cost that nobody warned you about. And in this video, I'm going to give you 10 unexpected costs that you may face in your retirement. You know, retirement math, it looks great on paper. But, you know, real life, it don't live on paper. There's hidden expenses that show up fast once that income changes. And the biggest surprises in retirement, they're not the luxuries that we want, because we probably plan for those luxuries. But they're the biggest surprises are the everyday hidden realities. You know, like health, home, and habits that cost more than you expect. Your health is going to change in retirement because we're getting older. Your home is going to deteriorate to a degree, and there's going to be maintenance problems that we're going to have to face. And you know, we may have hobbies. Our hobbies may change. We may want to do something because, listen, being retired, you're not going to feel every day with something fun to do. You're going to want to have a different hobby or something maybe. And in my case, I have chickens, and I've had them for almost a year now, and I love my chickens, and it gives me something to do every day. And you know, small overlooked expenses, they become big problems on a fixed income. You know, what used to be a minor annoyance to you, you know, once you retire, it can suddenly just wreck your budget, because you're budgeted for a certain amount in retirement. You have bills to pay. You want to do a few little extra things here and there. But listen, when one of these 10 unexpected costs that I'm going to give you here in just a minute, when one of them occurs, it could set you back. And sometimes, in some cases, it's hard to recover. You may have to go out and get a side hustle or something like that. You know, a good retirement plan. A good retirement plan, it's not all about the savings. You know, it's about preparing for surprises. Because, trust me, there's going to be some surprises. And the goal is peace of mind. Not just a number in the bank account. So let's dive right on into these 10 unexpected costs that I've come up with that I'm hoping might help you that are 50 and over, or over 50 and approaching 60 like I am, and you're planning retirement, whether it's near future or a few years out. These are things that you need to think about before you pull the trigger on that retirement. Number one is health care beyond insurance. You know, Medicare, it's going to cover a majority of the expense. And if you have the right supplement, yes, that's going to cover probably the remaining balance or whatever. But you know, sometimes it may not. You've got co-pays. You know, you've got the deductibles and prescriptions. You know, and some supplemental health care, it'll cover that, but some may not. You know, you got dental work and hearing aids and glasses, because the older we get, let's face it, our hearing is getting less and our vision is getting less. You know, we have to have more prescriptions the older we get, and we want to make sure that we plan for that accordingly. And number two is home repairs. Home repairs, you know, and maintenance, because let's face it, our bodies are going to deteriorate too, and homes will too. They have to be maintained just like our bodies have to be maintained. So you're going to have problems one day with a roof or the AC unit or plumbing, or maybe your refrigerator may go out. You've got to think about, how am I going to replace that, or how am I going to fix that? Some of these things can be thousands, and you may have to take out a loan, and then that loan, that monthly payment, that's extra on top of what you're already going to be paying out every month for just your necessities. So, you know, things, they don't break at a convenient time for you. They'll break, and something will go wrong at the most inconvenient time, whenever you may have put too much money on this for the month because you want to enjoy a little extra, and next thing you know, something breaks and you have to get it fixed, and then you're out that extra money. I hope these are helping you. And I've done a lot of research on this, because I'm planning my retirement. I am retired from my law enforcement job, but I'm not 100% retired. I don't draw a retirement. I draw a salary for me being the justice of the peace. So I'm still working full time, but I'm looking ahead to my retirement, and I'm wanting to plan for these surprise, unexpected costs that I may have to face one day. Number three is helping adult children, you know, or your grandkids. God forbid something happen to one of your kids, they lose a job or get a divorce or whatever. Who knows? Different things happen, and then you've always been there for your children. You've always been there for your grandkids. And you want to continue being able to help them if you can. Now, no, it's not our place to continue funding our kids for the rest of their lives, but things happen. And you've got to be prepared for that, because listen, when one of them comes to you and needing a little help and you're unable to help them, that's not a good feeling. I want to be available. I want to have that little extra that I can help them get through the month or something like that. God forbid anything like that happens, but listen, this is an unexpected expense that may happen in your retirement that you want to be prepared for. And you know, number four is inflation. You know, there's always going to be inflation. I don't know whenever inflation goes down very much. It usually goes up higher, and then when you're on a fixed income, your retirement and Social Security, you know what you're going to be paying every month. You've got to also be prepared for that unexpected inflation. You know, groceries and gas. Right now, gas seems to be coming down, and where I live, gas is almost $2 a gallon. So, but listen, depending on who gets in office, it'll go back up again. I don't know, but you've got to plan for inflation. You've got all of these have to be calculated out. You've got to figure different things in your retirement of what could cost you. So, you know, utilities, when gas goes up and all that, utilities go up. Your electricity goes up. your water goes up. All of these things go up. So that's another thing that you need to be looking at is inflation. Number 5 is insurance premiums. You know, insurance premiums, your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance. We've got to have car insurance. We've got to have all of this. And it's going to go up. It's all of this goes up every month. Or not every month, but every year, every policy cycle. Your insurances are going up. And you've got to be prepared for every bit of that. And, you know, car insurance seems like it goes up every year or two. And if you budget for so much and then you retire, and then next thing you know, your insurance goes up $50 or $75 or whatever, you've got to add that unexpected cost to your monthly output. And sometimes that can be costly. It all adds up in the end. And taxes. Number 6 is taxes. You know, Social Security taxes. You've got property taxes. Yeah, they should freeze at 65 maybe or whatever. I haven't gotten to 65 yet, and I hope some of them freeze. I don't know how that all works. I'm going to figure it out soon because, like I said, I am turning 60 this year. And, you know, your IRA withdrawals, many retirees, they're shocked that they still owe Uncle Sam. But let me tell you, Uncle Sam don't care if you're 65. He don't care if you turn 70. He's still going to stand there with his hand out. And you're going to pay whether you like it or not. Trust me, they don't care. And then number 7, what about vehicle expenses? You know, we always think that we're just going to keep our old car, you know, forever. But that rarely works. Now, some cars will last you a good while. But cars, they need new tires. They're going to have repairs, just like our old bodies and our houses. They're going to have a repair every now and then. And you may end up having to replace your car. Because listen, I have seen cases before in my job being a police officer of over 21 years working wrecks or whatever. Someone runs into you and they don't have insurance. Usually if they have insurance, it'll buy you a new car. But if they don't, there's a lot of people that can't afford insurance and they drive around without automobile insurance. And if they run over you and wreck your car, guess what? You're going to be forced to go buy a new car. Those are unexpected costs that you may have to deal with in your retirement. And number 8 is travel costs that you finally have time for. You know, you're going to want to travel. You're going to want to do a little vacation here, a little vacation there. And, you know, it's going to cost you fuel. It's going to cost you hotels. And, I mean, yeah, you can sit at the house if you want to. You don't have to go nowhere. I don't want to do that. I want to plan for a little travel in my retirement. And I'm sure I may not get to travel like I do now. Me and Michelle, we go to Disney World. We try to go once a year. Sometimes we'll skip a year because we're going to do something else. And we may do something else in the summer, you know, for a week. But, you know, whenever we retire fully, we may not be able to do that no more. I don't know. But we're going to try. We're planning on it, and we're going to plan for it. But, you know, free time, it creates spending time. You know, just because you've got free time on your hands don't mean it's free. It's going to cost you something. So you got to be prepared for that. Number 9 is hobbies and lifestyle changes. You know, you're going to get bored with what you're doing just sitting around drinking coffee and crocheting or whatever. You may want to start another little project or something, You know, some people, they like to golf and fish and RV, crafting, and even dining out ever so often. But listen, those things cost. You definitely got to plan for that in your retirement, because RVing, driving around with your RV, that costs the fuel pulling one of those things, and then stopping at parks or wherever you're going to park that thing. Golfing, yeah, you're going to pay uh, fees to be in a club or whatever. You know, a lot of times retirement gets more expensive socially when you retire, because you want to get out more. You got a lot of free time on your hands, and you're going to want to go and see people. Hopefully you're not going to want to sit at the house. But number 10, long-term care or in-home help. Because listen, like I said, our bodies are deteriorating the older we get. What if you fall? This is just something to think about. That could be one of those unexpected costs. We're fine and dandy, but I hear it and I've seen it in my line of business where an elderly person might have fallen and broken a hip or something. Next thing you know, you may have to go in the nursing home for a little. Yeah, you've got Medicare and a supplement that'll take care of that, but there are extra expenses that go along with all that. These are just things that you need to think about before pulling the trigger on that retiring. You want to make sure you're going to be okay, and you're going to make sure that you have that extra funding that's going to carry you through and get you that assistance, that temporary assistance that you may need. And some of these things are things that people don't even budget for. So these are my 10 unexpected costs that I and you may have to deal with in our retirement. Just something for you to think about. And I hope that this has helped you. And listen, retirement, it isn't just about how much money that you've saved. It's about how well that you prepare for the surprises that you didn't see coming. So, like I said, I hope that this video helped you. And if it did, won't you give it a thumbs up for me? Like it and subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. And we talk a lot about life after 50, 60, and travel and just doing things in our retirement. And go ahead and do all the stuff. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell for me. Y'all have a great day. And if you are in your retirement, enjoy your retirement. And I hope that you don't ever have to deal with any of these unexpected costs, but just be prepared. I'll see y'all in that next video.